Oh my gosh. Who wasn't in love with Chad Michael Murray? She always had the best hair. It feels like I'm sitting down with a friend. I didn't know that. Almost kiss. Like kiss. Hello and welcome back. My name is Kayla. I am a Canadian actress based in Toronto, and we're at it again. When I saw that this video had dropped, I couldn't help myself. If you are also a millennial, you may have been obsessed with this Disney Channel queen. I know that when I think about this person, that it brings me a lot of joy. Being fully transparent, I'm not really sure how much of an actor's react this will be. This might just be a fangirls, you know? But we are here to react to a video that Hilary Duff did with Vanity Fair where she talks about her career. I thought I would dress for the part, wearing my Hilary Duff Lizzie McGuire outfit. Disclaimer before we get too far into the video. The hair went with the outfit. I mean, when I think of Hilary Duff, I think of this. I didn't realize that most of the video is me looking this way. So if it looks like I have just one random horn, we're gonna ignore that, okay? Okay. You may know Hilary Duff is on tour right now. She has a new album, so I'm sure she's going to talk movies and music. Okay, I think that's enough of an introduction. Let's get to it. I'm so excited. It feels like I'm sitting down with a friend.
Hi, I'm Hilary Duff, and today we're going to be watching some scenes from my previous work.
I'm not surprised, starting it out with Lizzie McGuire. Man, Lizzie McGuire was one of my favorite shows. Honestly, Lizzie McGuire was one of the OG good Disney Channel shows. Lizzie McGuire, That's So Raven, even Stevens. I mean, oh my God. There is a part of me that is so grateful for these shows, and mind you, obviously I'm not a child. I don't have a child. I don't know very many things about children. Yeah, don't spend too much time with kids as a fully grown adult. Who would have thought? But one thing I can say from what I see is it just kind of feels like kids don't have shows for kids anymore. Lizzie McGuire was just a regular girl going through regular girl things. I remember loving Lizzie McGuire because I felt like I saw myself in her. It definitely makes me appreciate the shows that I loved even more now, looking back.
The mall's waiting. See you on the flip side, Lizzie. Miranda! What? Some of her friends are going to the mall. They may need me. Plus, you have that test to study for. Later. I cannot believe her.
I know.
Even her voice, like, she had such a high-pitched kid's voice.
See you later.
Gordo!
Frizzy Lizzie, babe. I was just this wide-eyed, actor kid. I had auditioned for so many Disney Channel things that I don't want to say you get jaded, but you just hope something sticks at a certain point. You're like, oh, wow, I got a callback on that thing. But I'm still sitting in here with 10 other girls, and, you can hear them through the wall, hear the choices they're making. It's a really strange, even as an adult, to audition for things. But I think about being that really innocent child. Just walking into a room and putting yourself out there completely and being very open and free to just want to please, at the time.
Yeah, I can only imagine what that would be like as a kid, because all of that stands true as an adult. You guessed it, this could be a video on its own on whether or not children should be in the industry. That is a huge topic. Something I can say, and what I will say, is that as an adult, it is so strange, even now, sitting in a waiting room with a bunch of people who look like you. Hearing auditions through the wall is so strange and can be uncomfortable. Definitely can be uncomfortable. Auditioning as an adult, it feels like justifying yourself and having to prove hey, I can do this. I'm the best person for this job. And yeah, it's so weird. So I can only imagine what that would be like as a kid. It must be so strange to be figuring yourself out on a set and to be auditioning. And I mean, it's so interesting too to just hear her talk about being jaded. I mean, when she got Lizzie McGuire, she was 12, 13. Imagine being jaded by a career at 12 or 13 with acting. There is a lot of disappointment. There is a lot of rejection. And it's one of those things that as an adult even, it can be really difficult not to tie your self-worth with whether you're booking things or not. Imagine having all of those thoughts and feelings as a kid where you're rewarded based off of so many little silly things that are out of your control. Yeah, I can, again, only imagine what it would be like to go through that as a child. And then especially, I mean, how famous and popular she was. To go through awkward stages of your life and making mistakes in the public eye, I can only imagine.
I was just like, I'll do whatever, you know? I remember one of the things they were like, what's your special trick? Like, what's your hidden talent? And I was like, I can walk really good on my hands. And I just turned my body upside down and started like walking around on my hands in the room, which is like such a crazy, like my kids would do that now. And I was just a kid, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that is very much something a child would do. It's actually crazy because it's always the most stressful part of an audition. They want me to go into this make-believe world. Sure, I'll do it. They want me to react and bring this emotion. Sure, I'll do it. They want me to tell them about myself. That's the hardest part. I don't know why. It's so funny though.
I always loved bed scenes because I was usually really tired. And so I got to, like, have a rest in the bed.
Same girl, same.
I think I could talk ad nauseum about why it hit at the right moment, you know? I think she was just a super endearing girl that everybody could see themselves in, having the middle school experience, you know, that not everybody would talk about. She had like embarrassing parents, and she had a crush on the popular boy in school, and she had her two tight friends that, you know, they had ups and downs together. I think people just needed to see themselves. Whenever she tried to be someone different, it always like fell flat for her, and so her lesson was just always about being herself, which was like her mismatched clothes and her like multiple chopsticks in her hair, and like she was just her, and she was just doing her thing, and I think it inspired girls to feel like that was enough.
And I liked that. I liked the fact that she did have her group of friends, and sometimes they didn't get along. She had her annoying little brother and her parents who clearly loved her, but were kind of embarrassing because everything's embarrassing at that age. And she did have a crush on the popular guy, and that never turned into anything other than friendship. And I love that. She lived an average life. And you just don't see that anymore. It was very relatable. The Lizzie McGuire movie changed my life. I'm not gonna lie. If you knew me when this movie came out, I'm mostly talking to my family. I'm sorry that you had to watch me perform, dance to these songs so much. Yeah.
I remember hating this green Isabella outfit so much. It's so funny that it's so iconic. The costumer from the movie made all of the outfits like original. It wasn't like a designer or anything. Unlike the TV show where like I picked all my clothes. There was a costumer, but it was like very influenced by me.
I didn't know that. I remember wanting Lizzie McGuire's wardrobe, so I feel like my bun is falling out. Hold that thought. Okay. I think I'm not going to touch it anymore because I don't want it to fall apart, but I think it's okay.
Are you sure you know how to drive this thing?
This is Rome. Nobody knows how to drive.
I never thought that all of these moments from the Lizzie McGuire movie would become so, like, iconic for people traveling to Rome. I think when you're just in the middle of something like that, you don't really realize what the reach will be. There also wasn't like the internet yet, the way that we experience it now. So it's been fun to see this like take on so many legs and see so many people like visiting like the Trevi Fountain or wanting to ride on the back of a Vespa with like a boy, a cute little Italian boy. I think in the moment you're not like, oh, this is gonna be big stuff.
It's so true. That was truly all of my friends' dreams.
Me and Gordo, the almost kiss.
Almost kiss. They kissed. That's not an almost kiss. They fully kissed.
Scene was like the last thing we shot, and it was on a soundstage, and I think it was really ready.
See? They fully kissed. Sorry. I'm getting distracted.
Ready for it to be over.
The kiss or the...
No, not the kiss. Not the kiss, but just like all of it. It was just a lot. I was like ready to kind of move on and do different things, but I remember being like, whoa, I just like filmed a feature film, and that was like a big deal. It was a mix of things. And also very hard to recall because it was so long ago.
Underrated film, honestly. Although I will say Cheaper by the Dozen 2, I think I liked more. But that's also probably because Taylor Lautner is in Cheaper by the Dozen 2. I fully thought I was going to marry Taylor Lautner. I mean, there's still time. He is married, and I am in a loving relationship. So, anyways...
I am totally aware that this family doesn't value self-presentation in the same obsessive way that I do. Fine, whatever. But one of my life goals, aside from being like a fashion guru, is to indicate...
She always had the best hair. Her hair was so good.
I think that was very fitting for how I was also in my life in the moment. Like very sassy and like didn't want to get dirty and cared about boys and, you know, didn't want to be considered a kid. It was all just very fitting. Steve was lovely, and he would be like nearby but not like in the mix, and he would like just have his banjo, and I feel like that was a way of him to like decompress around like the chaos of all the kids and stuff.
That would probably be a very hectic set. There were so many kids, and the laws and rules around how many hours, how many consecutive hours that kids can work. And of course, just kids being kids. I can only imagine. Oh my gosh. Who wasn't in love with Chad Michael Murray? He was the heartthrob, at least for us millennial girls. He was very good at the lovey eyes. Anytime he looked at his love interest in his movies or TV shows, it was like he was looking at you. It was magic. See? That right there is what I'm talking about. That is the look. I must admit it still gets to me today. So damn good at it.
Not now.
What?
I've got to go.
What, do you have a car for yourself?
Something like that. I'm sorry, but thank you. This has been the most amazing night.
Wait, where are you going?
I'm late.
For what?
Reality.
A Cinderella Story had so many of those cute little one-liners. Ugh.
I remember the producer was the same, I think, from Agent Cody Banks. And I remember, like, reading the script and just feeling like it was funny. You read a lot of bad scripts, and this one was, like... I liked that it was Cinderella, but, like, a modern kind of normal version. And then Regina King was cast, which obviously was like super exciting. She's so amazing. And Jennifer Coolidge, and obviously Chad Michael Murray. I think everyone had a crush on him. And then he went off to film freaking One Tree Hill. Was still hot. I was like, I did a movie with him. Also, my 4-year-old has watched this movie and also picked up on, like, how could he not know it's you in that mask? And I was like, it's the age-old question, honey. There's also parts of this movie that are so not, like, acceptable anymore. If you watch some of the scenes back, you're like, wait, what? It is crazy. It is, the times have changed.
Yeah, definitely. Cadet Kelly was one of the movies that I remember watching it and thinking it was kind of silly, but I still ate that shit up. I still loved it.
I haven't seen this movie in so long, and I don't know if I should say this or not, but I know that, like, the internet had this big thing that went on about, like, that this is, like, really, like, a lesbian love story. I'm just wondering why Disney didn't want to, like, follow up with the number 2, because 100%. Seems like it would have gone in a great direction for the sequel.
Also, fun fact, Cadet Kelly was filmed in Canada. No big deal.
We did so much rehearsal for this movie. That's the big takeaway that I get, is like learning how to like hold the gun, spin the gun, do the tricks. Like, we were in a dance rehearsal space for so long, learning how to like salute and like about face and do all these crazy things. And also, it was so hot that there was like some scenes that had lots of cadets in like a big field, and people were just dropping like flies. It was really scary. I think because when your legs are locked and you're like hot and wearing all those clothes and stuff, you can pass out, and people did. We shot this at the very end of the day. This was the last shot, and we had like 12 minutes. So I like always love that they'll be like, oh, this really important shot is going to be the last one of the day. I was surprised we even got this, but I'm so happy we did.
That happens all the time. It's actually so ridiculous. Oh, so this is the shot that if we don't get it, the whole film doesn't make sense. And we are going to do it when we're running out of light, when we have to be out of the building in 5 minutes. So, perform. It happens so often. You can ask any actor. I promise you, they have a story.
But this was a real, like, crazy whirlwind of like, we have to literally exit the building in like 12 minutes, and we walked into like this little tiny box of a room and ran through this maybe like 1.5 times. And this is also my own personal coat. It's a Dries coat that I bought and I hadn't worn, and I was so happy to get to use it. Working with my husband felt like the only choice for me, to be honest. He has a front row seat to my life and has for almost 10 years, and he knows everything about me and everything that's like happened along the way. And so it just felt like a really safe space to creatively make a body of work that is me, that has me all over it, and help me to fill in the gaps, of like the 10 years that I haven't done music. Music's such an amazing way to connect with people, and I really just felt like after 10 years of creating my family and putting energy into other places, I was ready to share and be more like forward-facing and talk about who I am and what I've gone through and kind of like what makes me tick, or the things that bounce around inside my head and drive me crazy, and, connect with people on that level again. I have to give a lot of credit to Matt for this one, because he sits in the studio and like pushes buttons all day long, and he's so like naturally musically gifted that like I can't go in and be like, I'm imagining this thing and it's like this. Like, he speaks my language, so he understands what I'm talking about. I can just be like, I don't like that, I want more of that. I get to like interior design, which is great. And it's also really important to me that my sound sounds like me. I wasn't really listening to too many other artists at the time, because I want my lane to sound like my lane, and I want my topics to sound like things that are affecting me at the time, or something that I carry with me from my past. There's definitely nods to my previous work, but also wanting it to just sound like good pop music.
Because she is on tour right now, I've been seeing lots of clips of her performing, and it looks like she's having so much fun. It looks like such a fun show. We're not going to talk about how I was unable to see Hilary Duff in concert when she came to Toronto. Actually heartbreaking.
There's nothing that surprises me that the internet hasn't dug up, and the legs that they continue to carry is abundant. And honestly, really fun. Like, I had a great time working on movies and TV shows, and honestly, it's nice that everybody can have a better memory of it than me.
Well, that's my life. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did.
Thank you so much for watching. Where was that scene?
Oh, man. Will say, though, Vanity Fair, shame on you. Where Was Raise Your Voice? Sad that that wasn't a part of it. Hilary Duff really was my childhood, so this was honestly mostly for me. It made me feel super nostalgic and just, again, grateful for the shows I got to grow up on. I love that she has new music. I love that she's touring, and it looks like she's having fun. So at the end of the day, I mean, that's all that matters. I am also pretty upset that the Lizzie McGuire reboot or continuation, whatever you want to say, didn't happen. I'm sad because I do think there is a market for it. I think a reboot for adults is the way to do it because the people who love Lizzie McGuire are now fully grown adults, and it would be so interesting to see Lizzie McGuire as an adult and see where she is in life. It's probably not in the cards, and that's fine. I'll get over it. Anyways, as always, that was so much fun. Thank you again for watching. If you've made it this far in the video, let me know down below. What is your favorite Hilary Duff movie? Or I guess we could say project, because she's done TV, music. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on new videos. Till next time. Man, my bun is killing me.